Hello, guys. We are back with one more session of a live interaction. This time, the super special Olympic countdown has started, and we are going to be talking to one of the athletes going to the Tokyo Olympics starting in July. Let me just invite Satyan Gyanashekaran, ace table tennis player, to the interaction today. Uh, yes, if I can add him in. The audio is clear. I think Satyan will be joining right now. Just trying to see if Satyan is on. Hello, Satyan. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, Vijay, I can hear you. You can hear me?
Yeah, yeah. Great to have you. It's
Thank
been
you, thank you.
I think a year since we interacted.
Yes, true. The year has gone by really, really fast.
Yeah, for the viewers, we are once again back, this time with a bang. Amidst the tough COVID wave that we have had, the Olympics Tokyo 2021 is coming up in July, and we have a good Indian contingent going. Fastened Up has always been associated with athletes across. We have a few athletes who are going to Tokyo. One of them is Satyan. In fact, table tennis is going to be one of the closely watched sport for India with a little bit of interesting matches going on there. So welcome Satyan to the live with Fastened Up.
Thank you so much for having me here. I think I'm coming to Instagram Live after quite a long time. I've gone into break and we're now back again in the same pandemic situation. But it's nice. It's nice always to interact and share my views. Thank you so much for having. And Fast Up
Sure.
must be having a lot of athletes. I think not a few athletes. You have grown immensely. So congrats to that. Yeah.
Thank you, Satyan. Satyan, I think a lot of viewers are already joining. I think let's get started. People would love to know what happened in Doha, where you qualified. What were the emotions which were going through you? How did it happen? If you can throw some light on that.
Yeah, I mean, the most weighted match tournament probably in the last after the Rio Olympics when I couldn't make it, I was just waiting for me to qualify, and this was my first ever tournament. I just went even for the Olympics qualification event. So I think it was a lot of pressure on the event, and just before the event, I was quite confident. I won the national championship, so that was a very good sign that I went into a tournament with a lot of confidence. But there was a little bit of setback with a minor shoulder pain, so I was quite worried about it going there. A lot of, the important match, and I'm having niggles there. But I think the mental strength was something which I never gave up. So I made sure that I'm going to fight it out, give everything on the table. Heading to the Olympic qualifiers, we already had an edge, with the world ranking. I knew we were like kind of making it to the Olympics with the kind of ranking we have. But to playing Sharat, in a cliffhanger, complete 7 game thriller, which went all the way. We played for like an hour, I should say, swinging back and forth and coming back again and winning from down 2-3. And I think that was a great match. We kind of played really well. I think treat for the viewers. I was really happy that I could make it, on the winning side. And then, of course, winning Ramiz, the Pakistan match, I had to wait for 8-9 hours. I couldn't sleep. I was just waiting for that match to play as fast as possible. And when I won that match, the last point, I thought of celebrating too much, but I was just completely totally of emotions, and I nothing came out of my mouth at that time, and I was completely emotional and a very very special moment qualifying for the Olympics. Very strong in a strong way in the Asian qualification event.
Great, Satyan. Was it a little bit of a tough year when Olympics was supposed to happen in 2020 and it was postponed to 2021? So, in terms of keeping yourself fit, in terms of qualifying, was it a little tricky for you, or were you prepared that you are going to be on top of your game for almost 1 year?
Yeah, I mean, definitely was tricky. I was little lucky, I should say. I had an opportunity to travel to Japan, to travel to Poland. I did get some match practice. Okay, there were a lot of quarantine regulations. There was a stop start, which was very, very difficult mentally to be in a small room in Japan. But I think that's the sacrifice you make to play some matches. But yeah, I was kind of prepared in that phase to face some matches. But I had my doubts because international match without 365 days, no international match, and you straight away go and play an Olympic qualification event. But I think we have Indians have come the tough way. So I somehow managed to bring out my A game. I'm really happy. I could really play very well despite the tough situation we were in.
Sure. So Satyan, you were talking about missing out on Rio Olympics, and I was having a look at what your friend and somebody probably you have looked up to at some point in time, Sharath has done in terms of Olympics being there for a long period of time, and I think he will be also be going to the Tokyo Olympics. So any light on how he has been an active wire for India, for a long time. So how has he been practicing with you, or you guys? Even though you live, I think both of you live in Chennai. Do you guys even meet up for some time?
We train in the same gym. So yeah, we do
Okay.
meet up in the gym. We train under the same trainer, but we have different personal coaches. So we do practice sometimes during camps and localized. But then mostly it's he has his own sparring partners.
Sure.
It's required training because I think it requires that he does a specialized training. I do a specialized training, and there is no team event or doubles event in the Olympics we are playing.
Correct.
So it's an individual sport. So he's been training there, and of course, but still we do meet up. We are always in constant touch. And
Mhm.
talking about Sharath, I mean, he's been such a long period. I was probably 11 years old when I saw him playing in 2004 Beijing Olympics. That was the first
Yeah.
Olympics I ever saw, and he's still
Mhm.
playing the Olympic Games, and it's a complete honor to play with him. He gives you that energy. He makes you feel as if he's your own pal. Like, he doesn't give that
Mhm.
10-year gap come in between us. I can straight away go and talk to him if something is not working well on the table.
Sure.
And he was always so friendly. So he takes up the pressure in the team. It's really good to have a senior like him. And I think we
Mhm.
got a lot to learn from him. I hope he can continue for many more
Sure.
years and we both can reach great heights in the sport.
Great, Satyan. So talking about sparring partners, I mean, we have always seen that you have employed services of a robo to, in fact, get your game on top. Can you speak a little bit about that, especially during COVID times when you don't have matches? So, what is this concept of a robo? How does it give quality, training to you? What happens?
Yes, I mean, that was my best friend probably in the first lockdown. Yes, I had no one to practice, and we got this butterfly Amicus Prime robot imported from Germany. So it was imported in November 2019 for the sake of World Cup, my preparation. But then it was came in very handy during the COVID time. It can never equate a human. Let me make that straight for sure. Human is always at the top, but then at the absence of a good sparring partner, that comes in very very handy because it can throw balls at 120 balls per minute. It can throw at that speed which a human cannot. There are certain things which it can do which a human cannot. It can generate extra number of spin, the rotations it can generate, so you can really work on your speed, your technique, your footwork, your focus. Everything improves on that game. You can keep up with the game, but the dynamic part of it, the understanding part of it, you would definitely need a human because he can see you where you're moving and he gives you in that opposite direction. So you need a human, but the robo came in very handy. It's very, very close to a human, I should say, very advanced. It can put one ball short, one ball long, randomized. So it can do everything except just reading your mind.
Great. The way infrastructure and science has actually helped sport. For the viewers, if you have any questions to Satyan, please do drop in a comment and we would be able to take it in. Satyan, going back to your journey towards getting into this Olympics itself, I used to see a lot of your stories on Instagram where you were one day in Poland, one day in a hotel in Paris, then getting into Mumbai, then traveling into Chennai. Were there any instances, maybe one or two instances where it was tough, where you got into a problem or where quarantining itself was difficult? I mean, were there any instances that you could let the viewers know?
Yeah, I mean, definitely there were a lot of instances. Japan, when we went, the visa was itself a big problem. And I had to, in Japan, we were like around 4 to 5 hours in the airport, a lot of checkings. And then I was put into a quarantine room for 14 days, almost just the size of my bed. So it was very difficult there to maintain the quarantine. Poland, they were more flexible. But yeah, I mean, the second time I went into Poland, after I landed, I was on the flight and they told me, like, you need a quarantine, you need a COVID test 48 hours before. and I had a test
Hmm.
72 hours before. So I had to really convince them and tell them that the Polish Super League, and I had to talk to the officers there, and then they let me go. Yeah, there were a lot of issues coming down to Bombay. Bombay, I mean, was very difficult. People don't know if I could take a connecting flight. I had to wait, to get the COVID test done, and then they let me go. But I think I got it sorted because of I had a good travel agent. I had everything
Hmm.
planned. Going ahead or maybe booking a hotel in Paris and very close to airport. I was meticulously planning 1 2 weeks prior on my entire day-to-day planning, and still there were hiccups, but somehow managed to come out COVID free and still have a very good tournaments there.
Hmm. So I always have this question for sports people, and especially when you're I mean Olympics is just 2 months away, and you have to do this quarantine in hotel rooms, etc. I mean, what happens when you don't practice? Like for 2 3 days when you don't have a table to practice. I mean, do you get jittery that you might lose a little bit of the touch and somewhere the game loses? Does it ever go through your mind?
Initially, I did have, because we've never been in a situation like this. Initially, I was like, probably I will lose everything. It's going to be starting from scratch. But I think when I played tournaments, when I could win the national championships for the first time, in fact, after such a big quarantine gap period and qualifying for Olympics, so that gave me a lot of confidence that playing probably 20 years of table tennis, and if you don't play for 3 days, definitely you don't forget things, or if that self confidence is there. But yeah, you do have fitness issues, so you need to have a routine. So I made sure that whatever happens, if I'm at my room 24/7, I still have a routine. I wake up, I do the fitness yoga in the morning. That gives a lot of self confidence. That is really really important. And to have a control on the food. When you're at home, you really want to have everything. So that is something. So there are some rules you need to follow during quarantine. Sleep is an issue, definitely, because you really push yourself hard, and I'm used to that kind of a physical workout, and then I go to sleep. So it's like
Hmm.
you really need to get tired to get to sleep. That was an issue. But yeah, I think I'm getting used to the new normal there, and
Sure.
slowly adapting to a lot of
Hmm.
things.
But Satyan, do you also think that because of the difference in the way things are happening now, you have a quarantine, you have the RT-PCR test, you have restrictions. Different athletes are mentally different. So, do you think this plays a factor in your actual game? Actually, when you go into competition, typically when in a normal world, it would have been just your table tennis capability, right? But because of the COVID, do you think there are other factors that also play into the athlete's mind right now?
Yeah, the biggest fear is that you don't test positive right one day before the match. I think that's the biggest fear with a lot of athletes. Even though being asymptomatic, and I think that's a worst situation to be in. But you need to
Mm-hmm.
take care of a lot of things. Yeah, initially there were a lot of areas where you're in a bubble. You're not allowed to go out of your floor. You literally can't go out and have a walk. So mentally, it was very hard. But I think we found out ways that we athletes started to talk between ourselves, know about each
Sure.
other, play some games. So find out new ways, new challenges make you find new solutions. So we did find those kind of games where we can interact and stay mentally sane and read some books, interact with your fans. So you do feel a little bit kind of cramped in sometimes mentally, but yeah, playing table tennis, thinking about table tennis even when you're lying down, that gives a lot of good feeling. You're in that kind of an environment.
Mhm. Great. So for viewers, I was just looking up at some trivia. Table tennis was included in the Olympics in the year 1988, and that was the Seoul Olympics. And it looks like China has been all over the place, so much so that in 2012 they had to change the rule where only two players from each country are allowed to participate in the Olympics, which means that some other country gets a chance to be on the medal position. So
True.
is China still ruling the roost, Satyan, or has things changed when it comes to Tokyo 2021?
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, they are top favorites. They are always on the favorite list for sure. But it's not like before where you see barrage of Chinese players, 10, 20 players coming down and taking everyone down. So that's not going to happen. There are only like two or three players who are really at the top. the other Chinese are getting beaten by the top players, by the other country players, and even the top players are facing a lot of defeats now. So the gap has certainly reduced to some extent, but still China are the big favorites. They are supremely high on the technique, on the game level, on the fitness level, the system which has been supporting. So yeah, I mean, all events, China is definitely favorite, and if they are going to lose, they have lost in 2004. South Korean won the 2004 singles Olympics medal, and yeah, we would consider it as an upset if China loses in any event for sure.
Mm-hmm. So, Satyan, just to let the viewers know a little bit about the chances for India in the Olympics. I know you have already quoted this in multiple interactions that you have had with the media, but I mean, I know there are 4 players going. You are one of them, I believe. You have 3 others going. I mean, can you just list a little bit of insights into how the competition is shaping up? What are chances for India? Where do you think we have our best bets, etc.?
Sorry, did I lose my video?
No, you are perfect. We can see you, Satyan.
Okay,
You are
I'm not
perfectly
able to see.
okay.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
We can see you.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, yes, definitely India has a very good chance at this Olympics for sure. With 2 events we are participating in, and the mixed doubles for the first time we have qualified, and 4 Indians again making the cut from the last Olympics. And I think this is the first time, to give you a trivia, this is the first time 2 Indians will be seeded directly in the round of the round of 48. So it goes with seeding, and 2 Indians will be directly seeded in the second round. There's never before in an Olympics that we are as high as this seeded. So we'll have a good chance at going further into the draw. And if I could make a couple of upsets, definitely reaching the pre-quarters or quarterfinals, it's going to be a great turnaround, I would say, or historic, in fact, for Indian table tennis.
I mean, I think that will be awesome to watch. I know Olympics starts in July. When are your matches scheduled, Satyan?
It's from the first day. So I think 24th the Olympics starts, and the mixed doubles on 24th. And myself most likely will be having a first round bye because of the seeding. We'll be directly starting on the second round. So I will be starting my campaign on the 25th of July.
I mean, typically, what are your plans to go to Tokyo? Does it happen a week before or 10 days before? What is your normal schedule?
I mean, these are questions still not clear, but we have been told that we'll be probably going 6 days prior. That's the village will be allowed. So we have like 2-3 days quarantine maybe. So we are heading around probably 10 days before our match. So we're looking at somewhere around 14th or something like that to reach Tokyo, to prepare ourselves, because we do at least need a week to train and then prepare ourselves. Because from the second round, it's going to be very hard. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a cream of players. So I'll be facing tough competition right from round 1. So I have to be just going directly from day 1 and point 1.
Mm-hmm. But does your stint that you have had in Japan recently, does it help when you are actually having a Olympics in Tokyo?
Definitely. I think I didn't plan this. I had my Japan, Olympics like this. But I think one good thing, if I say, happened in the pandemic was definitely getting a chance to go to Japan. I think no other foreign athlete except who played in the Japan League would have had this opportunity. There was no tournaments in Japan for any of them the last 1 year. So I would consider myself lucky there to go to Japan. I got really motivated there, seeing all the boards, hoardings, and to play in those kind of a condition, the same Sane table, to play in a bigger hall with a very vast number of Japanese players, high level competition. So it did give me a little bit of a home feel there for the pre-Olympic preparation, I would say. And I think going again to Japan, I'll feel more comfortable, and probably I'll be able to come and play with ease in the Olympics.
So, Satyan, I know that Mr. Raman, your coach, and you have been looking forward to this Olympics for a long time. What has been his thoughts when you actually qualified for Doha, and what is his expectation from you for the Olympics?
He always is on the sky roof. Definitely, I think that's why I've been able to push this far. He told me you did top 50 in 2012. I was laughing, but here I am getting into the top 25. So yes, he's looking at nothing short of winning an Olympic medal. Beating Harimoto and beating a lot of top 10 players have given me that confidence that you can go on and win the top 10 players. So why not look at that very high perspective of winning an Asian Games medal? But I'll still take it round by round, and probably I need to win 4 to 5 matches getting into the medal round. So I think I'll take it round by round, and he wants me to go all the way, at least make a quarterfinal. That's be historic. No Indian has even gone to the round of 32, I think. So if I could
Yeah.
make it past to the quarterfinal or even into the medal round, you never know. If I get a good draw and if I can pull off 1 or 2 upsets, definitely the quarterfinal or semi-final is what he's looking at heading to the Olympics. And I'm also looking at making that historic performance.
Sure. So I think I'll take one question which has come up. I mean, obviously, it is in the mind of everyone, honestly, Satyen, that Olympics is still a little bit of a, I would not say an uncertainty, but there are always question marks which keep happening because Japan is still not out of COVID. I mean, does it really put a little bit of a tentativeness or doubt into the athlete's mind, especially a person like you who has already qualified and who has looked forward to this for years? Does it even bother you that it may still have a question mark?
Certainly, it does create some anxiety in the beginning, but I think IOA and Japan have sent out a clear message to the entire world that we are going ahead with the Olympics. And Japan is also starting to vaccinate now and trying to bring things under control, probably without the crowd. They already told without the foreign crowd. They're looking at if Japanese people also will be allowed. And compared to many other countries where Europe and Western, I think Japan is still in a much better situation. Even though the COVID situation, they really want to go into zero kind of a case. That's what meticulous their planning is. So I have full belief in Japan and International Olympic Committee that they're really determined to go ahead with the Olympics. And I think it's not in our control, right? I mean, things which you can't control is something I don't really worry about. So I am preparing myself right from day one as hard as I can. I don't want to be underprepared despite lockdown, very big difficulties. But I want to be going there the best in the best preparation as I can, and I hope that I can really participate in my first Olympics and make a difference.
No, great, Satyen. The other question that every Indian person who look at athletes look at is about vaccinations, right? How does an Olympian like you, I mean, have you had your vaccinations? What is the typical plan for Indian athletes to get vaccinated?
I have had my vaccination on May 6th, the first dose of Covishield, and we are really looking at also getting the second dose done before heading to the Olympics by end of June. So that's the plan. And I think Sai has already initiated good that Sai gave me a letter. I could go to an hospital and get it done. And they are really keen to get all the Indian athletes vaccinated. In fact, both the doses vaccinated before heading to the Olympics. Most of them are done. So it's really good. I think it's a positive way. That's the only way we can survive this pandemic. So I also urge everyone. And I would get the second dose also done and head to the Olympics.
Sure, that's nice. Let us take a few questions. If it's not too confidential, I don't know how confidential it is. In terms of talking about your equipment, some of the viewers want to know what equipment do you use. I'm sure it refers to your bat, any other specific equipments you want to talk about. Please go ahead, Satyen.
Yeah, I mean, I've been getting these constant questions, but there's nothing confidential. It's always put out on the public. So I use the same Zhang GK Super ZLC blade. For the other TT viewers, it's a Zhang GK Super ZLC blade, and on the forehand, I use Tenergy 05 hard. So Tenergy 05 hard is on the forehand, and Dignix 09C on the backhand. So I'm a butterfly sponsored player, so I'll be using the butterfly rubbers, and these are the rubbers I use. So I've just switched to Dignix 09C on the backhand. So Tenergy 05 hard on the forehand and Dignix 09C on the backhand, and Zhang GK Super ZLC blade. Thank you.
Fantastic. So, I mean, that's really good for viewers to know. And I have also been here getting a lot of questions on your workout. So, Satyen, can you just in a nutshell give a brief about your workout regime?
So, I mean, it's very customized for sure. I'm training under Ramji Srinivas Sports Dynamics. So, if I have to say, we have a wholesome workout. So, I'll be doing around not heavy weights, but two days of strength training with less weight. Sometimes go on the weights and more repetitions, working on the lower body, on the core, and everything. And 2 days of kind of cardio. Like, at the lockdown, you're more doing into hybrid workouts, a circuit kind of a training like cycling. I have a cycle here, so I do cardio and then focus more on balance and stability on one of the days. So yeah, I sort out days, Mondays and Thursday for strength, 2 days of circuit training, and 1 day for cardio. And footwork is also very important. So I do have an exercise pattern. It's really important to work out what is related to your sport. So I kind of focus on the muscles, which is important for table tennis, the core, the lower body, legs, and these are the exercises I really focus on.
That's good to know, Satyan. Talk a little bit about your support staff, which goes to the Tokyo Olympics. I mean, is it just you, or do you have a bit of a support staff who will be traveling with you?
I don't even know how many people are going to Tokyo. There is a lot of restrictions this time. Yeah, I have given my coach's name, Raman sir, recommended to the IOA, and we're just looking because I think they have a lot of restriction on the number of support staff you can go, and they wanted to create a bubble. It's not going to be easy. But as of now, I think only one we are allowed to give. So I would really love Raman sir to accompany me because he knows me better than anyone else. He was there with me Commonwealth Games and Asian Games as well. But I don't think any other support staff will come, but most of them will be always in touch online. I have Ramji Srinivas as my fitness trainer, Vaibhav Agashi as my mental conditioning coach, and dietitian Rayan, Fernando. These are the core team, which the support staff which I've been working. There are physios as well who have been helping, but I think Indian team might send a physio, but we're looking at probably if they give permission to Raman sir, it'll be really good.
Great. I think you have named a few of very important people around who probably would have helped you over the last few years itself. So thanks, Satyan, on that. Again, I don't know whether you would like to take this question, but still I would go ahead and ask that. Are there any people, any players that you would not want to meet before probably a quarterfinals or a semifinals in your during your game? I mean, the question was different, but I'm just posing it very directly.
Yes, I mean, I would definitely avoid Chinese for sure. I mean, you don't want to play the best very early in the round. You really want to give yourself a better chance. But I think it would be fun playing Harimoto for sure in front of the, hitting there. It will be really fun there. Sorry about it.
Yeah, I think there is a slight, yeah, you're back.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so I would really love to play Harimoto, but still not early in the rounds. Early in the rounds, I would like to have someone I have a good chance. There are a lot of players who have a decent chance, and if I could play Harimoto in the round of 16 or quarterfinals, I would like to avoid Harimoto and the Chinese. Other than that, it's not much you have a choice, right? I mean, there are all top players,
right.
Cream of players coming there, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Satyan, I mean, how do you rate? I mean, you also would be following other sports. If you're following other sports, where do you think India's chances could be in this Olympics?
You mean the number of medals, or?
Not number of medals. I mean, any other sport where you follow, and any other sport you think we have a good position to get a medal or do well. I mean, any thoughts on that?
There are a number of sports. Definitely, we have a great chance in shooting, wrestling, boxing. Badminton, of course, we have won a medal. I think these sports are something which they have a big chance, and hockey team has also a decent chance, both the teams. So I think there are a lot of sports that have newly qualified as well, like fencing, sailing. So medal might be difficult there, but I think they still have a chance. But we have our usual sports which have been winning medals, and I hope shooting, wrestling, and boxing come up with more medals and put the tally of India high. And table tennis probably can contribute there.
Yeah, that'll be the icing on the cake. For the viewers, the highest tally for India ever has been, I think, in the 2012 Olympics London, where we won 6 medals in total. So it'll be a good one to improve upon that. So I'm hoping that table tennis would be something which is up there in the list. But Satyan, you are currently, I mean, your age is around, I mean, 28 or so.
28, 28,
28 or
yes.
so. Two questions. Do you think Olympics came a little bit late for you? And the second question is, what next? I mean, 2024 is there, but looking forward, what would be your goals? And did Olympics come late for you?
Yeah, I mean, there is always a regret missing the Rio Olympics. I think that was the first time I ever had a chance at the Olympics because I'd finished my engineering and then came back into the real circuit after 21, and I came back very fast. And 24, I was already at a very good place. But yeah, I mean, unfortunate incidents. I had a personal loss. My father passed away, and a lot of things happened. But I think I came back really strong. So there are no regrets. There is always meaning. Something is happening in your life, and you get better and better. So I think I've come up in a very, very, very fast pace, I would say exponential way in the last 4 years. So there is nothing late. I think I have a very, very long career ahead for sure. At least two more Olympics, I would be saying. So I'm looking at playing for another, two Olympics for sure. And what next? I have signed the Japan League and Polish League again, and we'll be heading into Japan again, getting to the next level. I think going to Japan is looking at next level. And we have Asian Games and Commonwealth Games, a very important year in 2022 as well. Very short span we have heading to the games. So I think we need to keep up that momentum heading from Olympics and probably make the Commonwealth and Asian Games more count more. So yeah, after Olympics, we'll be heading, take a small break and again start our preparations for the Asian Games and Commonwealth and so forth, so on and so forth. I really want to break into the top 10 as well.
Right. So I think I will take one or two generic questions. One question which has come up is your advice to TT players who are currently in lockdown because they don't have the liberty of a robot or robo or some of these facilities. What do they do? So any advice, Satyan?
Yeah, very difficult. If they do have a table, yes, great. I mean, you can do serves, but I think you can even do wall practice, which I've done as a kid. You can mark this thing in the wall and try to have the target-oriented practice of hitting the balls on the wall. That would be great. And analyze your matches. It's really important to analyze. This is the time you can really see your videos, analyze, make a jot down on where you need to improve because you don't get this time when you're playing completely. So you can do that, visualize, do fitness. Very, very important. I think TT you will not forget if you don't play, for 1 week or 2 weeks. But if you're not doing fitness, it's going to be really hard coming back onto the court. So do fitness, yoga, meditation, and it's going to be all will come back soon onto the court.
Sure. Any exercises that you do or any things that you do to improve your footwork, Satyan? Any advices there?
Yes, I mean TT based footworks. Basically, you really need to do is keep a line in the center and try to have one leg jumps. It's really important to move in one leg also sometimes. So imagine a table and try to do the shadow practice. I think it's a very famous shadow practice of doing the exact in-out movements of table tennis, the lateral movements of table tennis. So one leg jumps, small hurdle jumps, the quick movements, the quick feet movements, stepper movements, these really step running. These are kind of which really help in footwork.
Thank you, Satyan. I think we have just done a 30-minute session, which is great. We don't want to hold you too long. Thank you so much for coming back to the session. Any specific products from Fastened Up you are carrying for the Tokyo Olympics?
I do have a lot of products. I really need to see how much I can carry. I've been really liking, of course, the Fastened Up Reload and the BCAA are my favorites. So that's going to be there for sure. BCAA is one of the favorite I have ever had taste-wise. And if I just wish every supplement can be this tasty. So these two will be there. And I really like the Energy Superfoods. It's really healthy. I think I would like to carry these three heading to the Olympics. And some energy gels. Yeah.
Thank you, Satyan. All the best to you and the entire Indian contingent. We are all very proud of you, what you have accomplished. I think people who don't follow table tennis would also look forward to your performances. There is so many people who are actually wishing you the best of luck, rooting for you throughout this conversation. And I can just tell you that the number of viewers who have really been there, seeing you talk, they would really be inspired. 2024, 2028, I mean, and beyond. All the best to you, Satyan, and take care, and we will be in touch. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vijay. It was really an honor. Thank you, guys. Thank you
Bye
so
bye.
much. Take
Bye
care.
bye.
Take care. Stay safe. Yeah. Bye bye.
Thanks all the viewers too.